I'm Amy, and this is my husband Shane, and I own Cherished Designs and Event Planning. My wonderful husband gets pulled into a lot of my events. He helps with the creation of custom designs as well as being the muscle behind a lot of my setups.
Luckily, it's light, mostly flowers, so it's not heavy.
Which is a good thing, yes. So we decided today that we were going to recap from 2022 and ask each other some questions. So Shane, why don't you go first?
Okay. Amy,
Yes.
what was one of the coolest, most unique moments at one of the weddings you did this year?
One of the coolest, most unique moments.
Did like anyone pop out of a cake or anything crazy? Like, I don't know. Something
No,
like
we didn't have anybody pop out of a cake. I think probably the coolest thing we had was we did the July wedding, and they did the generation dance where they look at who's been married the longest. And probably the best thing that stood out to me was a couple, I feel like they were married for like, what was it, like 50, 60 some years. And the DJ asked them, 50 years? Was it 50 years? Okay, 50 years.
Yeah,
The DJ asked them, what is your best advice for a long lasting marriage? And the husband went on to say, putting God in the relationship, which I thought was really good. And his wife's response was, fight naked. And
always fight naked.
Always fight naked. And I thought that was probably one of the highlights of that. Good question.
If nothing else, I guess it'd be funny if you fight naked.
Yeah, definitely be funny. What was your most standout wedding? For good reason or for bad reasons, I guess.
Well, I don't know. They all kind of, honey, I suck at this. I don't know. I'm just in the background, like, fixing things. So
All right, why
I
don't you ask another question?
Why don't you ever listen to me?
What?
Why don't you listen to me?
I
See,
do.
you just said what?
I do listen to you. Next question.
She didn't answer.
It was a bad question.
Because you don't want to answer.
Next question.
What's the favorite part of coordinating for you? Don't make it too cheesy.
I'm not. I would say the people. We've got to meet some really cool people.
Like, you're talking about people that were getting married, or like vendors, or all the above?
I would say probably my favorite has been just working with the different clients that I've had. The funnest part is getting to know their unique personalities and then helping incorporate and coordinate that into their special day. But just a lot of interesting people. What would you say yours is?
Why are you using all my questions?
Well, I just feel like it was a good question.
Oh.
That one was.
What?
Okay, what was the most, let me ask a question. What
Okay.
was the most memorable wedding of 2022 for you?
I would have to say the one that we did at the Ernesto,
Okay.
because it wasn't a barn,
It wasn't a barn wedding.
which was interesting because everybody's doing barn weddings.
Yeah. Why don't you tell everybody about the Ernesto wedding?
It was a cool fall day. We had to get there at 8 in the morning. I had to haul wine barrels.
4, to be exact.
And through this back alley door and into the service elevator and haul them all around and get them all set up. And then had all these corks that we had cut for all the name cards because everything was wine themed. It was a lot of work, but it ended up looking really cool
Yeah.
when it was all done.
Yeah, the Onesto in Canton is a historic venue, and they have on-site coordinators. They were really wonderful to work with, very helpful. But we did a wine-themed wedding there, so we brought in all these authentic wine barrels. The corks that he's referencing, we used to hold all the name cards of the guests. And Shane put a lot of time, that was one of his customers, put a lot of time in cutting them, making sure they were even and that those name cards sat in there really nicely. And that wedding was really cool too, because that particular couple really love Disney, and they love making their own wine. So we were able to incorporate little pieces of Disney throughout the theme of their wedding as well. But it was just a really cool wedding, beautiful day, beautiful venue. And that was my first wedding that I got to do almost completely full planning with. So got to bring in a lot of really good vendors.
Yeah. And I got to ring the bell at the church.
And yes,
and they have their own church.
And the highlight was he was allowed to ring the bell after they were going out for their bubble line. So to announce that they're married. That was pretty cool. Yeah. Well, follow us, like us, and watch for more videos to come. And anything else you want to say?
There you go.
All right. See you next time.